Hello, you are welcome. I want to announce to you that you can gain admission into the university you have chosen in this year's JAMB if you do the right thing. And that's what exactly I'm here to show you and to guide you on how to go about it. My name is Emmanuel John. I'm a graduate by the grace of God, and I'm passionate about helping students that are serious. On this slide are the results of students or candidates that have been under my tutelage during the last JAMB exams. As you can see there, I have a good number of students that came out with good results in this year's JAMB. Only a 2 had less than 150. I have 5 that got 300 and above. So I am here also to help you navigate through the process of this Post UTME. I graduated as a first-class student from my university and the best student in my department. I believe in excellence. I believe in following due process. I believe in following proper principles to get what you deserve. So I have been helping many students both in the university and across different states whom I have not even met in person, giving them counsel, giving them advice on how to navigate the process to ensure that they have gotten admission into the universities of their choice and their course of studies. So in this video, I'm going to treat a good number of past questions from top Nigerian universities. That is post-JAMB questions. Please, if you cannot be patient to go through this journey, through this tutorial with me, it means you are not yet ready for the university, and I would advise that you should just pause this video and continue what you are doing, or better still, when you get time to be ready. I like working with serious students, and that is why you can see these results. Many of them were so committed. We had tutorials in different dimensions just to ensure that I have equipped them well to do well, and they did. They made me proud. So now is post-JAMB. I am fully available to offer every help possible to ensure that they have gotten it right. If you are like that and you feel that you can make that commitment to be patient to listen through this, let's dive right into it. Alright, so like I said, I just want to follow. I have picked past questions from top Nigerian universities. They are post-UTME past questions. So that's what I'm going to treat here. And while I'm treating them, I'm going to give you an assignment. I have 25 questions here in total in this video. In the next video, I would have also on other subjects, general subject. If you have not watched the previous video I posted where I talked about what you need to know as a prospective university candidate, please go and watch it. There I have explained how different universities perform their post-UTME and some important things you need to know about your universities to help increase your chances of getting admission this year. Sincerely, you don't have to wait till next year, but the right time to do the right thing is now. So if you have not watched that video, immediately after watching this, run to it and get more information. So in this video, as usual, if you are my student, you know what we usually do. Yes, we do it together, we learn together in a fun way. Remember our mental drills. If you have not my student, I don't want to waste much time explaining several things, but let me let you know this. I had these results you are seeing here for JAMB. They are actually students that have been under my my guidance for their JAMB preparations in the last JAMB. So I have a WhatsApp group where I have them, where we used to have our online trainings, our online tutorials, and different types of exercise. So anytime I make sure I engage students in learning. So the same thing I'm going to do here. I'm going to give you 5 questions as assignment out of the 25. So I'm going to treat the first 20, or in between I can just say do questions so as your assignment, and I'm going to drop my WhatsApp number here. If you are a new person who have not come across my channel or who have not known me before, I'll drop my WhatsApp number so that you send me your score, your answers later then I will mark it and get back to you. Meanwhile, if you are my student, you already have my numbers, you know our group. Yeah, so just send your answers to me privately. So today we are going to talk about biology, which is very important. So let's look at top questions from top universities like UI, LASU, Uni Abuja, and some other universities. So let's go right into it. Thank you. Alright, so the first question we have here is, the muscle cell fluid of an athlete was tested immediately after 100-meter race and was found to contain a high concentration of lactic acid. Explain what could cause this. Yeah, this is an applied question. Now, if you are familiar with metabolism, maybe you can... Okay, let's look at the options given to us. Good. The athlete must have eaten food containing lactic acid. The athlete must have injected lactic acid into his blood just before the race. The athlete must have carried out anaerobic respiration during the race. The athlete must have inhaled lactic acid from the environment during the race. Now, this is what happens. Metabolism, or let me say the burning of glucose, requires oxygen. Respiration requires oxygen. So if you are running, the amount of carbohydrate breakdown that is happening might be higher than the amount of oxygen you are inhaling. So the body switches temporarily into what we call anaerobic respiration, that is respiration without oxygen. So during the race, the athlete must have carried out anaerobic respiration to keep supplying him energy. That is more like an emergency metabolic channel. Yeah, that keep supplying him ATP to continue running. So this is what this question is all about. Someone who is running would or may have to switch to anaerobic respiration to keep supplying him energy. And once anaerobic respiration takes place, the levels of lactic acid will increase, because instead of production of pyruvate in the glycolytic pathway, lactic acid will be produced. This is a biology question. I don't know if you have done metabolism very well, but in case you have not done, I hope that I've been able to explain. I don't want to dig deep into pathways. By the grace of God, I studied biochemistry, so pathways are part of us. Yes, so I don't want to dig deep, but I hope I've been able to explain. Let's move quickly into the next question. Question 2 says, in insects, the structure that performs the same function as kidney in man is the... Now, in men, we have kidneys that perform excretory function, excreting toxic materials. How about in insects? Do they have a kidney? Nope, they don't have a kidney. But they have. We don't call it kidney. It has another name we call them. So this is what exactly this question is asking you about. So let's look at the options given to us and see which one is the correct answer. Oh, we have nephridium, we have flame cell, we have Malpighian tubule, and we have trachea. The correct answer is Malpighian tubule. This serves the exact function of a kidney in man, but it is found in insects. Hope this is clear. Let's go to question 3. Alright, question 3 says, which of the following constitute the main internal tissue of leaf? Now, all the time I always encourage students to read question carefully and understand what it means. There is a keyword here that once you miss it, you cannot get the question. Main internal tissue of a leaf. What do we call it? What does it constitute? Let's look at the options. Yeah. So we have corticule, we have mesophyll, we have vascular bundle, and we have lower epidermis. So the correct answer is mesophyll. Cortical at the top, lower epidermis at the bottom. Then we have vascular tissues, those nerves that usually follow, that you can see when you pluck a leaf of a tree. You will see some nerves like this. So but we are talking about the internal now. So the correct answer is mesophyll. Let's move right to the next. Okay, this question says one of these is not a continuous variation. One of these is not a continuous variation. Let me explain continuous and non-continuous variation now, so that you'll be, once you see the options, you'll be able to answer it. I think this should be my first assignment question. Okay, all right, let me explain. So when we say continuous variation, we mean the variation is continuous, as the name implies. It has no end. It is continuous. It's not like yes or no. I'll give you an example. Let's take height, for example. Height is a variation that is continuous. You can find someone 1.5 meter, another one 1.51, another one 1.32, 1.33, 1.34, 1.35, another one 2.5. Okay, let me not say we have up to 2.5. I think those are very tall. But what it means is that there are different levels. It's continuous. Are you getting it? Skin color, for example, is continuous. Also, is a variation, differences that is continuous. For example, chocolate, dark. You can find people of different light skin continuously. But when we talk about tongue rolling, for example, you can either roll or not. So that is not continuous. You can either, there is no in between. But in continuous, there are in betweens. Age is continuous. 5 years, 5 years, 2 months, 5 years, 3 months, 5 years, 4 months, 5 years, 4 months, and 1 day. Continuously, you find people like that. So, but in non-continuous, it's either good or bad, yellow or green. Do you get what I'm saying? So, I believe this example is clear now. So, let's look at the answers. Oh, we have height, we have weight, and we have skin color. Yeah, so which one is your answer? Oh, I've already mentioned the answer. Tongue rolling. Some people can roll, some cannot roll. There is no in between. There is no half tongue rollers. No. So it's not a continuous variation. Weight is continuous variation. Some persons can weigh 70 kg, 71, 71.57. So it's a continuous thing. The same thing with skin color. The same thing with height. Thank you. Let's move. Which of the following factors is not associated with aquatic habitat? That word aquatic means water. So water habitat. Which of these factors is not associated? Let's look at it. Temperature, light intensity, humidity, wave action. Temperature affects aquatic life. There are some times that the waters will be cold. There are some times it will be hot, warm, and so on. Light intensity also. The deeper the river, those living things that are deep down, they experience a little or no light at all. So light intensity affects. But humidity, can we have humidity in water? Never. Humidity has to do with the amount or the levels of water in air. So we can only have it here in the atmosphere, not in the aquatic environment. So, but wave action, when we talk about wave action, we talk about water, so it also affects. I hope you get this. These are the kind of questions you should expect by the time you go for Post UTME in the universities that do give exams. Alright, so the next one is a food web. In a food web, tertiary consumer belongs to which trophic level? In food web, tertiary consumers belong to which trophic level? Okay, let's see the options. First, second, third, and fourth. Okay, what does this mean? So in food web, we have producers first, consumers, that's primary consumers second, we have secondary consumers third, and we have tertiary consumers fourth. So tertiary consumers belong to the fourth trophic level. Okay, we move. Which of the following processes is responsible for the movement of water from roots to the leaves of a plant? Water moves from root to the leaves of the plant. So what is responsible for that? Let's see. Diffusion, osmosis, transpiration, active transport. Now this question might be a little bit confused, so you have to be very careful to know what is responsible for the movement. The water might move through diffusion. the water might move through osmosis, which is most appropriate, because diffusion, we may not likely have it in movement of water in plants, but osmosis from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. If you are familiar with plants' vascular tissues, the xylem and the phloem, of course, you remember the xylem is responsible for carrying water from the ground up to the leaves, while the phloem carrying other nutrients. So if you can remember that, very important. So in this case, our correct answer is transpiration. What is transpiration? Transpiration is the loss of water by plant through the leaves. Yeah. So as the water is leaving the plant through the leaves, it will cause suction pressure. It will cause the water to keep flowing up. So this is what is responsible for the movement of water from the root of the plant to the leaves. Let's move to the next question. One of the following is not an excretory structure. Okay, so let's see. I think I should leave this question for you. Yes, this is your first assignment question, question 8. One of the following is not an excretory structure. A. Stomata. B. Blood. C. Kidney. D. Flame cell. Do you know what flame cell is? In insects. Okay, let me not say the answer. So, blood. Is blood an excretory structure? Top. Now you sabi stomata in plant. Is it an excretory structure? Kidney. Is it an? So, write your answer. I hope you have taken the answer already. So write question 8. Yes, just write 8. If A is your answer, write A against it, so that I will later know by the time you send it to me. Don't number it as question 1 to 5. No, write the exact question that is here, so that I will see the people that have watched the video and have also followed appropriately. So let's go to the next question. Yeah, which of the following is not a function of the nucleus of a cell? Nucleus of a cell. It controls the life processes of a cell. It translates genetic information for the manufacture of proteins. It stores and carries hereditary information. It is a reservoir of energy for the cell. This is your second question. Yeah. What's the function of nucleus? Which one is not the function of nucleus among this? So you know the correct answer. I won't say it. So answer this as your second question. So 8 and 9. Alright. I will answer question 10. Ribosomes are found in all living cells. What is their function? What are the functions of a ribosome? Ribosomes are part of the cell organelle. So what are their functions? Let's see the options given to us. I think this question was from LASU. Yeah. Okay. A. Cellular respiration. B. Synthesis of proteins. C. Excretion of waste products. D. Intracellular transport. So the correct answer is synthesis of proteins. Do you remember rough endoplasmic reticulum? Yeah, what makes rough endoplasmic reticulum rough is because of the ribosomes that are attached to them, which are responsible for the synthesis of proteins. We have smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Do you remember their function? Synthesis of lipids, which are oils. So it is very easy to remember. They are smooth. They synthesize lipids. All right, we go. In a food web, this is your third question. 8, 9, and 11. 8, 9, and 11. So this is your third question. In a food web, primary consumers belong to which trophic level? I have answered this earlier, so I don't expect you to fail this. So, yeah. So tell us primary consumers where they belong to. Don't forget, the first one is producer. So primary consumer, where they belong? Which trophic level? Is it first, second, third, or fourth? Thank you. We move. An ecosystem is composed of the following, except, you know what an ecosystem is? Group of organisms living together in a particular habitat. So which of this is not contained in the ecosystem? Plants are there, animals are there, temperature is not there, meadows are there. Meadows are also living. So this temperature is an abiotic factor. It's not part. In a cell, genes are carried by what? Yep, we know DNA is located in the nucleus. But then genes, how are they carried? What carried them? First option says nuclear membrane, chromatin threads, lysosome, mitochondria. Now, you may not have deep knowledge of molecular biology, but looking at the answers alone, you could tell which one is correct. You know, there are different ways to answer objective questions. That's why they are best for me. If you give me objective questions, be expecting 95 and above. So I like them because sometimes you can guess. If you can remove those that can never be an answer, anyone that remains is an answer. So the correct answer is chromatin threads. Now, DNA is very long. If you remember the double helix structure of DNA, it is very long. I think a DNA of a cell, one cell, can stretch up to 1 kilometer or more. So, but how is this DNA stored? How are the genes stored? Because genes are portions of a DNA that codes for a particular trait or that codes for a particular protein. Let me not go into molecular biology, but you need to know this basic information is very important. How is DNA stored? DNA is stored like coiled. You know this thread for sewing. Now, if they bring one to you, if you can unwind it, it can go as straight as maybe 1 kilometer or even more. That's how DNA is also coiled along histoproteins, and that is how it is stored into a cell. So chromatin threads is how genes are stored. Thank you. I hope I've answered this. So we move. I've given 3 questions already, 8, 9, and 11. 8, 9, and 11. Alright, so let's go. The random way genes recombine during meiosis and fertilization leads to what? Leads to genetic variation, leads to phenotype, leads to genome, leads to genotype. So the correct answer is genetic variation. So the random way genes recombine during the meiosis. Meiosis is cell division that has to do with reproduction. So we have mitosis too, if you can remember. So during the random combination, this leads to genetic differences. Okay, so we move. The root hairs are for what? Strength and support, conducting liquids, absorption of water and salt, penetration into the soil. Of course, absorption of water and salt. Root hairs, the last part of the root. Okay, we have taproot actually, the one that goes deep down. Then we have root hair. In monocotyledonous plants like maize, rice, and so on, if you uproot them, you will see root hairs. So their function is not for strength and support. Their function is for absorption of water and minerals for the plants. Okay, so that's the function of root hairs. Okay, this is your 4th question. In humans, which blood group is known as the universal donor? Which blood group is known as the universal donor? Okay, universal donor. We have universal recipient, we have universal donor. So is it blood group A that is universal donor? Is it B? Is it AB or O? I don't know for you. Choose your answer, and remember you're going to submit it to me through my WhatsApp. I'll drop the number on the comment section, so you will find it there and send it to me. If you are my student already, you know how we do it now, so just send it to me. Thank you. Okay, 17. One of the following is usually worm-like, cylindrical, and or flattened. So this is a description of an organism. This is a description of a group of organisms. Which one is the correct answer? Yep, mollusk. When you talk about mollusk, you talk about snail. You talk about insects, you know what insects are. We talk about nematodes, you know what they are. We talk about annelids, you know what they are. So nematodes are more like worms, earthworm, tapeworm, and other worms. So the correct answer is nematodes. Okay, 18. The theory that new organs or characteristics develop in organism when there is need for them was postulated by who? Now, one scientist postulated that new organs or characteristics come into place when they are needed. Yes, use and disuse. Do you remember? He talks about giraffe, that the reason why they have long neck is because of adaptation, trying to reach grasses that are up on the trees. And we have practical examples about this. For example, if you start going to gym, what happens? You develop muscle. Do you get it? So what he's trying to say is that the part you use will develop more. People that use left hand to write, with time, that hand becomes used to writing and it becomes very good. So any part you are using most, it develops most. That's what they are trying to say. So if you go to gym, you are using your hand, lifting weight all the time. What happens? Your hands will develop. If you are lifting weight that will affect the muscles of the chest, your chest will also develop. So any part of your body you are using most, it develops most. So this is the theory of use and disuse. So the question is, which scientist postulates this? Charles Darwin, Wallace, Lynn Lamarck, Gregor Mendel. So the correct answer is Lynn Lamarck. Lamarck's theory of use and disuse. Hope you remember. Okay, you have one more question as assignment. Question 19 says, in bony fishes, the swim bladder is used for. Okay, I will answer this. Okay, do you know what swim bladder is? If you dissect some fishes, you see one small airbag, white in color, especially tilapia. That's what we call swim bladder. What is it used for? A, adjusting the weight of the fish when swimming at different levels. C, extracting oxygen from water. C, equalizing fluid pressure between fish and the surrounding water. D, absorbing more water when the fish is about to descend to lower levels. So the correct answer is, it helps the fish in floating, which is adjusting the weight of the fish when swimming at different levels. So this is the importance of swim bladder. Okay, we move. The next question says, the cocoon into which the earthworm lays its egg is produced in the more like cockroach. If you are familiar, cockroach produces one cascade, one is it also called cocoon, wherein their eggs are found. The eggs are inside, protected into a casing. So in earthworm, cocoon is produced by what? So let's see. We have prostomium, peristomium, chitta, clitellum. The correct answer is clitellum. That's where cocoon is produced. So 21, the primary structure responsible for pumping blood from circulation through the mammalian circulatory system is the, what's the primary structure responsible for pumping blood for circulation throughout the whole body? Of course, we say it's the heart, but the heart also has parts. So let's see, we have veins, we have right auricle, we have arteries, we have left ventricle. So which one is the correct answer for circulating the blood throughout the entire body? This is your fifth question. It's too simple for you to answer. So this is your fifth question. Yep. So don't forget, please write your answers and send to my WhatsApp. Okay, 22. Wow, interesting question. Daughters receive their X chromosome from their father, mother, relative, sibling. Of course, it can either be father or mother, but which one now? This question is a bit confusing, but it is very simple. So the correct answer is what? father, of course, the mother already have X chromosome, and it donates X chromosome all the time. The male is the sex determinant. The man is the one that determines the sex by donating X or Y. So they are asking that daughters, which are girls, females, they usually receive the X that determines their sex from their father, of course. Women, they always donate X chromosome, X chromosome, X chromosome. So since they say daughters now, so they receive their X, that sex determinant, from the father. If they receive Y, they cannot be daughters. They can only be male or sons. Alright, so we are close to finishing. Question 23 says the hereditary factors of the hereditary factor of the material for inheritance is D. The hereditary factor of the material for inheritance is D. So what is the hereditary factor for inheritance? Is the organ, sex, gene, ovum? Is the gene. Gene is the hereditary factor. Is the hereditary factor for inheritance. So that's 23. Okay, second to the last. Plants that are adapted to grow in dry land where water content is low are called what? Okay, halophyte talks about salt, hydro talks about water, zero talks about drought, meso, and so on. So xerophyte talks about drought where water is limited, where water is not much. So that's the correct answer. These plants are adapted to growing where water content is very, very low, like baobab, like neem tree, like we have many of them. Some thorns that grow very well in the dry land, in deserts. Okay, last question. Hey, what happens to a man whose pancreas has been surgically removed? Hey, you see Post UTME questions, right? I hope you are ready for all these questions. Okay, so what happens? First, that should come to your mind, what's the function of pancreas? Production of insulin, which helps regulate blood glucose or blood sugar levels. So if it is now removed, what will happen? Alright, so let's see what happens. The level of blood sugar would increase, the glycogen content of the liver will increase, the blood pressure would decrease, the weight would increase appreciably. A is the correct answer. The level of blood sugar would increase because the organ that produces insulin, which helps regulate, normalize the blood sugar, has been removed. So definitely the blood sugar level will go up. Thank you so much for participating. I hope you have enjoyed this class. If you are not following my channel, do well to follow. Share with friends also who are preparing for Post UTME. This will be very, very helpful to them, as it will help them prepare very, very well. Follow this channel if you have not followed. Follow this channel. This is the second video I'm dropping about Post UTME. I'm going to make many. I have seen how universities ask their Post UTME questions. I have tapped from top universities in Nigeria, and I believe that if you can answer their Post UTME questions, not any other university. Yep, University of Lagos. I hope you are aware. You follow news now. You know that it's one of the top that many candidates applied for this year's JAMB. University of Port Harcourt, University of Calabar, IMSU, and OAU, UI, and so on, ABU. So make sure you subscribe, and beyond subscription, hit the notification button. I want to be, if you are my student and you are in that group, I won't be coming to announce that I drop a video for you to come and watch. Sincerely, it is one of your responsibilities to even be checking all the time to see what is new. Is there anything that I've dropped? I shouldn't be following you to tell you to come to class. No. When you get to the university, nobody will do that for you. If you like, come. If you don't like, so I want you to inculcate that habit of moving a step further. Don't wait until they say, hey, I'll drop a video. I won't be dropping that. So the easiest way you should do it is just click on the bell button. The bell button will notify you all the time that I've dropped a new video. If you have not subscribed and this is your first time of coming across my video, do subscribe, as these days I want to be dropping videos consistently, because very soon universities will start their Post UTME exams. Thank you so much for staying. If you like this video, YouTube will show it to more persons who are preparing, and I think doing that won't cost you much and it will be good for you. Yes, you can also drop a comment. By dropping a comment, if you have a question you want to ask, if you want to be part of my WhatsApp group, you can also drop it in the comment section. Then I will respond to you immediately and guide you on how to join. In the previous video, I already announced that my target is not just for you to get into the university. We have started from JAMB. We are now in Post JAMB. I'm also going to be with you throughout your university journey, as God will help me to support you anytime you need support, on one condition: if you are a serious type. I don't have time to waste. Many of you knows that I'm a master's student. Thank you for all your prayers, my student, how you have been following through, to ask me that, yeah, how we how we managed to do it during the post-JAMB, during the JAMB preparation. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for your care. I will soon do my external exams. We call it Viva Defense. Bye-bye defense, that's final defense, by God's grace. So thank you once again. Have a wonderful day. We meet tomorrow in the next video. Bye.